Across different eras of cinema, staircases have remained a crucial element of spatial storytelling. They connect spaces, guide movement, and reveal social and psychological structures. For production designer, a staircase is not simply a function of architectural feature. It is also a tool that shapes the relationship between the space, character, and narrative, and give more mise-en-scene opportunity for the directors and cinematographers. Regardless set design perspective, in architectural context, the stairs in a house, sometimes described as the spine of the building, the element that connect different floor levels and different shapes of spaces. This element will become a function for cinema language used by the director and provided by the designers.
These weren't different families, they were the same people. They were identical. As a matter of fact, they lived in the same kind of house. But the difference was very important. The girl's house had a round door, which I painted black, in a white building. And the boys had a square door, rectangular. If the staircase was straight in the boy's house, it was curved in the girl's house.
When the character moves up or down through the stairs, they are not only moved through the architecture. I could often read out three meanings from the staircase scene. Firstly, it's the way for organizing spatial transition as the environment changing. These changings often signified the plot progression or the turning point. And second, the moving can create a dynamic staging opportunities for camera movement and actor choreography, making more visual tension. And thirdly, they often carry in a symbolic way, representing the hierarchy, the power, or social diversions. Using one of the single points or combine them together will enhance the storytelling. I will demonstrate this by using some materials to support through films from different periods. This video essay will explore how the stairs designed and constructed in the film production and how they helping and shape the storytelling. Based on this, I hope to summarize a methodology that can benefit my own creative work, providing a clear and coherent study material for future spatial design that including a staircase.
Come on! Come on!
One of the most iconic staircases in classic cinema appears in A Matter of Life and Death. It was the 10th picture of Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger that made together, and it was designed by Alfred Joner. A Second World War pilot miraculously survives a fatal crash, falls in love, and must plead his case in the heavenly court to keep his second chance at life, to continue the love story with the lady who took his radio call.
Goodbye, darling.
The film features a gigantic mechanism structure, representing the stairs to heaven. Unlike the traditional staircase, this structure was designed as a vast moving escalator that connected the earth world and afterlife.
Yes, Mr. Fowler, nothing is stronger than the law in the universe, but on Earth, nothing is stronger than love.
It was a great set, and it cost £145,000, which was a lot in those days, 50 years ago. And the great thing about it was that it actually moved, and it was quite silent, which was amazing.
The set was constructed in Dunham Studio in the United Kingdom and measured over 30 meters length. The staircase appears smooth, symmetrical, and almost abstract. Its design avoids ornament in detail and emphasizes the scale and rhythm. Fortunately, from the book that my tutor Moira Tate lent me, I can see more details of the making of this staircase. The production designer Alfred Joner created a monumental moving escalator. They call it Atheo. This structure was built as a large-scale set inside of studio, allowing full control over lighting, camera movement, and spatial composition. Atheo had 106 steps, each 20 feet wide. And in the dream of our main character, the art department constructed a massive statue of historical human being alongside the escalator. They were finishing each single of them with a rock looking, efficiently representing each statue is staying in the endless historical time section while they're traveling upward. From a design perspective, the decision to construct the staircase as a continuous moving structure offers several advantages. Firstly, it eliminates the physical effort of climbing. Characters do not actively ascend. Instead, they are carried upward by the staircase. This transforms movement into something passive, almost predicament, reinforcing the film theme of fate, judgment, and inevitability. Secondly, the smooth mechanical motions creates the consistent rhythm. This allows the camera to track alongside the character with stability, producing long uninterrupted shots that enhance the sense of transition between the worlds. Thirdly, the minimal and symmetrical design avoids historical or architectural specificity. The staircase does not belong any recognized cultural style. Instead, it exists in an abstract, modern visual language, making it a convincing bridge between the human world and afterlife. More importantly, the staircase functions as a spatial connector between the earthly world in the film, which is very warm, texture, and realism, while the afterlife is present in a more controlled, monochromatic, and idealized environment. The staircase became a threshold between these two organized pictures. From the story, we know when the characters step onto it, they are no longer fully standing on the ground of the human world, but also not yet fully part of who have passed. These in-between situations transform the staircase into a liminal space and a transitional zone where identity, fate, and judgment are negotiated with the story and the audience. In this sense, the staircase is not just a passage. It allows the story to unfold during the journey itself. The characters have conversations and they are making decisions. Tensions were building through this action taking place on the staircase. I found that the staircase scene was not only a pause in the story time, it extended the time and creating a visually suspended moment between the heaven and the human world. The following film shows the method of making the staircase scene opposite from a certain perspective. In Vertigo, the element of the staircase became a fully psychological medium, and it provided a platform for chasing action.
Everything is a set. Hitch liked working in the comfort of the stage, and he didn't like to shoot in real locations.
Bumstead designed more than 50 individual sets for Vertigo, including the interior of the Mission Bell Tower and the Bell Tower staircase, appearance in Catholic Church. In that sequence, Scotty took Madeline to the church, and they confessed their love for each other. But Madeline broke free from Scotty and ran to the bell tower, intending to commit suicide. Scotty chased after her, but the wave of dizziness caused by his fear of height delayed him. Just as he was about to reach the top of the tower, Madeline's body flew out from the window, and Scotty's was devastated. In the reality, the real location did not contain such a tower interior, which means the stairs was designed and constructed as a studio set to emphasize the height and the confinement. The narrow steps and the circular movement force the character to climb higher and higher while the camera follows. The shot combine it with Hitchcock's favorite technique, using the dolly zoom. Then the staircase transformed into a visual expression of the vertical itself. The staircase is not just an architectural element. It also became a mechanism for visualizing psychological instability. To achieve this, they built a miniature of the chasing stairs, allowing the special effects shots. It was filmed by special effects cameraman John Fulton to make the audience feel dizzy as the protagonist. In Parasite, the staircases structured the spatial logic of the entire house. Aware there are already amounts of analysis on this film, I'm trying not to repeat the points that get much often discussed. I still want to pick up it as a modern case, because we couldn't really get away from it when we talk about the stairs. Not only the narrator uses the stair as a conveyor belt between the social class, but also for the in-detailed design of the stairs with the minimalist style. The story follows a poor family living in a cramped basement. They infiltrate a luxury mansion as different service workers, attempting to live off the upper class. However, the returning of the former housekeeper in Park family disturbed this balance, triggering a series of thrill and satirical events that exposed the stark wealth gap and social class conflicts. The house of the wealthy Park family was not a real house. It was designed and specifically constructed for the story. Production designer Lee built the set for emphasize the hierarchy by split the building in different levels, and the stairs became the vertical connector. The living space are on the ground floor, and what connected it is the kitchen on the upper level. The stair is very modern designed style, and no more decoration. Even we can see the stair steps through the railing. The materials of the handrail doesn't exist, using the glass to replace the spindles as a full surface. To offer a comparison of this feeling of order, the dressing and aging effect applied on the stair to the basement became unclean. These stairs control the movement of the characters and visually represent the social class. Another example, the group family of our main character escaped from the Park house to their own home, passing through the streets during the flood. In this sequence, as the director pointed out this public facility, this long chain staircase conveying them lower and lower. It separated the class. As the story tells us, they are returning to where they belong. The fancy life returns to the disasters. Following their travel, we're seeing camera finally moving to a decent spatial that represents poverty. For the perspective of location choice, the staircase became a physical map of class difference. It's remarkable that one moment in the film, when he saw the maid sitting in the hospital, who is currently hired by Park family, he was standing on a downwards escalator. He was trying to reach the lower class. On the escalator, he tells the Park family's mistress about the servant went to the hospital. intending to let the family stop hiring them. The escalator that they were standing on was going upward. While doing the research, I spotted there is a theater located in West Wickham Park, where constructed a beautiful historical stairs, so I visited there during the Easter break. The steps were made by 2 types of wood joined together. These insights lead me to reflect more deeply on the staircase I was designing for my film architecture project. It is an East Prussia manor that weathered the storms of the Second World War, witnessing a diverse range of people who had passed through that period. Unlike typical flats that using in the set design, the staircase need to bear the weight of the footsteps during filming. This reason making their construction process close to the real-world building. At the same time, the material used also need to be considered due to the budget constraints, using column screens instead, and the use of different types of wood to enrich the textures of each single step effectively conveyed the following 2 points. 1. It emphasized the class relationship between the upper and lower levels. The auntie who is living on the upper floor, the owner and actual operator of this manor house. Then the tenants and refugees who lives in downstairs. And Peter, the child hiding himself in his own room. During the war, he never go down to the ground floor. The second point is the rich materials and the spiraling appearance descending from the center of the building testify to the once grand and wealthy family.
The first thing is you open the script and read it, and does it require, and is there a staircase there, and is there a reason for the staircase being there?
Luckily, I got a chance to do a short interview with my another tutor, Tim Hutchinson, for giving me a better understanding of how the staircase designed in practice.
This was for a film called Up on the Roof, and I'll just describe it because obviously Up on the Roof requires a staircase to come to it, and it was made in November, cold in England. We needed to build a roof, and we couldn't build it here because you can't shoot on a real roof, not possible, and it's a night shot too. So we built this set, made a model, so here's the roof, but we built it in Cape Town in South Africa because it was a sensible place to do it. And there's the roof after it was built and dressed. They're going to sing a song on the rooftop. So they come up a staircase, but they notice that one of their party, they're meant to sing a song, has actually got up on the roof where they're going to sing to other students. And so they come up the staircase. Now they've come up to his room, which is on the top floor.
I'm not missing this chance.
And he's decorated his room. So this is in a London house. So they're going, wow, look at this, it's extraordinary. So now we're coming out of the set and he's climbing up through into the roof, and then he comes up on the roof in South Africa, in Cape Town actually. That's about one of the most extensive uses of staircases really. Staircases in one country and a staircase in another country to bring the two together in a sort of composite.
I felt that is a really clever way to use the stairs. It just reminds me, once I had a project in school about theme of fantasy. There was one part that I was exploring about how the stairs can organizing the shooting space on set. And that's based on a novel written by Carvino, The Castle of Crossed Destiny. And I designed the 3 space on the film set, gradually become private. So the first one is the public space. When the characters passing through the public area, he will be taken to a private area where contains very rare, precious tarot cards. After passing this tarot card storage, we will come into a private conversation room. I call it private lounge. These spaces connected by the stairs and going down deep to the ground. I using staircases designed, allowing separate set to be constructed in different locations.
There's one interesting sequence of a film I haven't talked about, which was a film called Highlander, which had a really important fight in a tower on a stone staircase, and it's the Kurgan or something fighting Sean Connery, who was one of the protagonists, and he kills him in fact, and the whole tower disintegrates around him as they film. Except the staircase. The staircase is intact because obviously, but the top part of it is made of polystyrene block. And it's remarkable because all the outside of the walls that crumbled and disintegrated were individual blocks of polystyrene painted to look like stone, which were pulled out on a cue as we say. So each one collapsed with kind of dust and powder and everything else. That's a good example of perhaps you can't get more spectacular staircase than that.
In Poor Things, as the protagonist Bella explored the world and developed self-awareness, the staircases becomes a path of growth. The character climbs, descends, and wanders through the space, visually reflecting her evolved perceptions and identity. Here the stairs participate in the narrative of the character's development.
I can't think of a modern film where in the 1930s or whatever, like Gone with the Wind, staircases were an opportunity to show off and show the leading lady coming down. I think things moved on a bit from then, but you can still, we're shot in country houses with staircases, and you might see someone dashing down or whatever. I can't think of